What's up guys, how you guys doing? This is Ray, and in this video I'm pretty sure a couple of you guys are going to get annoyed. I'm going to talk about the master bus, the workflow, and the last time I did something like this, a couple of people unsubscribed for the simple reason I put a plugin on the master bus. And here's the thing, there isn't any rules. What matters is the end result. So if you have a couple of plugins on your master bus and everything sounds good, leave it. Another thing, the plugins I'm going to show you in this video, I'm going to overdo them and I'm going to push them to their limits. I want you guys to hear what's going on. Sometimes you see these videos, everything is so subtle, you don't really understand what's going on. So let's jump right into it. So over here I have this session. It's basically like this house session that I'm working on. It's incomplete. Let me show you guys. It's really not a lot there. I'm working on it. There really isn't a mix. So here's what I have. I have a couple of virtual instruments. As you can see, I have expand. And what I did, I created for MIDI tracks. That's the cool thing about expand. You don't have to constantly keep putting it on every single track for a different instrument. You can actually just put it on one instrument track, then open 4 MIDI tracks, and you could assign them. As you can see, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and these MIDI tracks are assigned to that. So if we take a look here at expand, check it out. You see instrument, and then you have channel 1, so on and so on. And that's how I got expand work. I have 2 other instruments here, but they're not really worth mentioning. The simple reason is I just wanted to show you how I have the MIDI layouts, and you could do this with a lot of plugins. That's the only reason why I brought up the expand plugin. I do have a compressor on this track. I have the big blue compressor. Definitely one of my favorite drum compressors, although I don't have it on drums right now, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. So let me mute the microphone and let me give you a sneak peek of what I'm working on. So the rest of it is pretty much the same. I have to continue adding elements to this track. It's far from done. By the end of it, I have to commit all these tracks, convert them into WAV files, and then I could definitely start manipulating them a little more. But the one thing that I like to do when I'm creating music, I want to have these plugins here. So I want to start it with the intentions of the final mix. That's just the way I work. Now, everything's at Unity here. And the reason is, like I explained, this is MIDI tracks, and you can't really grab these channels and manipulate them like the regular channels. Hope that made any sense. And the way I would do that, as you can see, expand, I'm kind of manipulating each sound here. Eventually, I'm going to have to use that commit function that they added to Pro Tools. After I commit the tracks, I'm pretty sure I'm going to readjust the levels. I'm going to go back to the master fader, and I'm going to keep adjusting and taking a look at the plugins there. We want to make sure that we're not hitting the plugins too hard. So right now I'm going to show you the plugins that I'm running on the master bus. And I'm pretty sure some of you guys are going crazy about this. So I have a limiter, I have the 670, and I have a Slate Digital Revival, which is completely free. I have these plugins in just about all my sessions. Doesn't mean I'm going to use them every time, but I have them there just in case. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to disable the entire set of plugins, and we're going to listen back to this without any of those plugins on. All right, so now you heard it. There's no processing. The only processing that's going on is this track right here, and I have the big blue compressor. It's compressing some of those transients there. So now I'm going to turn on each plugin, and we're going to listen back to it. So we're going to take a look at the L1 limiter, and the only thing I'm adjusting is the ceiling is set to -1.0. Reason I have it like that, preventing some clipping. Normally when I have this in a session, I do the same thing. Occasionally I'll adjust the threshold, but I won't overdo it. If you're going to use this, you got to be very careful. I know everybody wants their music really loud. It's easy to get carried away and overdo things. The next plugin we're going to take a look at is the Waves 670 plugin. This is my favorite, my go-to master bus compressor. Some people like to use the SSL, some people like to use other plugins. Really doesn't matter which one you use as long as you master the plugin. As you can see, this plugin is really easy to use, but let's check it out. So what do you guys think about the 670? This is what I hear. When the plugin's on bypass, listen to the drums. Sound really boring, really dull. The minute I turn it on, it gives some life to those drums. Not only that, it's kind of gluing everything together. It's compressing, and that's making it really exciting. Put the plugin on bypass, and let's open the next one. So next, we're gonna take a look at Slate Digital Revival. This plugin is completely free, so if you don't have it, check the description, download the mix rack, and start using this plugin completely free. One of the great things about this plugin, you don't really need to do a lot to get things to sound really good. It'll give you some of that nice low end and some of that nice top end. Pretty nice. So you can hear those hi-hats, how dull they sound. Now I'm not pushing the plugin that much. As you can see, you got the shimmer and you have the thickness. Believe me, with this plugin, you can do a lot. It might be a little too much at times, but during the mix, I might come back to this plugin and turn it off, turn it back on. At the end of the mix, if I feel it needs a little bit of that shimmer, I'll just go there and I'll add it. And I'll keep going back and forth, make sure I'm not overdoing things. Anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, post in the bottom, give me a thumbs up. Remember that Revival is a free plugin. The other two plugins are not free, but that's okay. You can still try them out. This is Ray, and I'm out of here. Later, guys.